Hey, Mark, I think that you should take one more bite of the bomb before you say goodbye.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Spicy Scallops with Sylvia. Today we're going to be asking questions and having some spicy scallops, and each question gets a little bit spicier as well as the scallops do. So today we're here with Mark. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Charlie.
We've watched the popular show, web show Hot Ones, and so you know
How this goes.
that's how this goes. It's going to get spicier with each time.
Yeah.
But I'd like to introduce you, although today in honor of the 10th Bristol District of South Coast Mass, instead of eating wings, we'll be eating scallops. And I know that you have got these scallops from a special place, and I'm sure you will be mentioning that as well. So Mark Sylvia is candidate for state representative for the 10th Bristol District. He's been the town manager of Plymouth, school committee chair in Fairhaven. He has worked at the state level with the Deval Patrick administration and has been and remains the town moderator for the last 15 years, which is quite an accomplishment in itself.
Thank you. Yes. I'm very proud of that.
So how are you feeling, Mark?
I'm good. I'm mentally prepared, ready to go. I mean, I love scallops, and as you mentioned, these are local scallops. These are scallops from Nordic Inc., which is a local family-owned scalloping business. They have vessels that come in and out of the port of New Bedford. It's an important part of the fishing industry, the scallop fishermen. So I'm really proud to be able to eat local from a local business and just highlight something that's important, that if I have the opportunity to be state representative, I certainly will be fighting to support local fishermen and making sure that they can continue to put seafood on our tables like they have been for the last 100 years.
So now we're going to spice it up a little bit here. First up, we have Hot Ones Buffalo Hot Sauce.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Delicious scallop, little tiny kick. Not a big deal. Makes me a little nervous.
So the first question is, you've been class president in high school and in college. This seems like a lifelong interest. What has motivated you and what motivates you to run and serve in elected office?
I've been very proud to serve in different positions. I think I'm driven by the real desire to help people and make a difference. I think since I was a little boy, I've loved all of those opportunities. It's definitely made me the person I am today. And just the values that we were taught growing up on the South Coast. You and I and so many other people really learn the values of hard work, especially compassion for others and community. And so for me, that's manifested as, being involved in leadership roles. And I've been very honored and proud that my classmates and my constituents have been willing to entrust that responsibility in me. And so it motivates me every day.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. Okay, we're going to get right back into it. So the next one, number 2, is charred chisidu and garlic.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Nice taste. So far, so good. Hasn't.
All right, so question
I'm
number
ready
2.
for number 2.
All right. Disney has a special place in your heart. You've taken multiple family vacations there.
Yes.
And have a small Disney-themed area in your house.
Yes. Yeah.
What is a special Disney memory that you have?
Wow. So you're right. It's something that my family, because it's about family, right? So it's my kids. That's been a special vacation that we've gone on since they were really young. I went when I was very little. I think I was 5 years old. So imagine that in 1979. The rides are different today than they were then. But it was something. That's all about kind of the family experience. You can kind of step away from everyday life and just enjoy time with your family. And so, for those times when we weren't there, because you can't go all the time, you can't live there.
Right.
A way for us to kind of remember those experiences was to kind of, the kids and my wife at the time, we talked about how can we create a special place that we can go to at any time. And so the kids and we decided we were going to make the room in the basement, the playroom in the basement, very Disney themed. And so that's what we've done. So it's great. I mean, the kids are now, Mitchell's in college and Scarlett's heading to college soon. But I think if I changed anything in that Disney room, I'd get in trouble. So it's there as long as I think the kids really want it to be there.
That's great. Disney is a special place, and the food is always delicious there too.
Yeah, my favorite ride at the Magic Kingdom is the Hall of Presidents.
Oh.
Which isn't a ride, but
Well, that makes a lot of sense, though, Mark.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, ready for number 3. This
Okay.
next one is centered around Caribbean grown passion fruit.
Let's see. Okay. Sweet. Not a big kick.
There are going to get
flying through
spicier
this.
as we get
I
up.
don't know.
as we
Like
go on.
I don't want to get cocky here because so far so good. I didn't have to drink my milk or eat any bread. So
That's good.
So far so good. No hiccups. So
All right.
all right. What do we got?
Okay. This is a very key question that many people want to know the answer to.
Okay.
What do you most hope to accomplish in your first term in office, and why?
Wow, that's a great question. With Bill Strauss, who is our current rep, he's been there for 32 years and he's been in leadership and has been able to do a lot for the district. I want, the most important first thing I want to do is to establish myself in the House as someone who can get things done. I think that's important for the people in our district. And so I want to make sure that people see that I'm being effective on their behalf, that I've some of the relationships that I've developed over the years with current members of the legislature, that I can work with them almost immediately, on day one. What we've talked about in the campaign is I'll be your rep on day one, and I think to me, that would be the most meaningful impact, that we're not skipping a beat and the people of the 10th Bristol District feel like there's been no interruption in their representation in the House of Representatives, that I'll always be accessible, that the big priorities that we've talked about, particularly on cost of living issues like housing and healthcare and childcare, that we can really get some things done in the legislature in that first year. And I think being in the district, being present, listening to people. I mean, there are a lot of things that are going on now that, for example, on the transportation side, or there are things in each of the towns and in the city that may require additional legislative action. I want to make sure all of that continues to happen. Again, that there's no interruption, that we're not skipping a beat.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we're getting deep in the medium heat now. This one has a smoky chipotle flair.
Okay, let's try it. Okay. Nice little smokiness.
Okay, so question number 4. If you were to win an all-expenses paid month-long vacation to anywhere in the world, where would you go, what would you do, and why?
Wow.
Anywhere.
So I think my focus, I think I'd go to, I'd split it up between Europe and Canada, because what I would want to do is I'd want to search my family history, follow. I love genealogy. I love learning about my family's past, where my great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents came from Portugal or from Ireland or from Canada, and what their lives were like. It's really important to me for my own children, to pay forward the knowledge and the history and the sacrifices of our families. So I think for me, if I had a whole month and I could just dig in, that's what I would do. I would spend time kind of traveling the paths of my ancestors and getting a better sense of, where I came from, and I mean, I'd love to go somewhere warm too, I guess, but I think for this, if I was given that month, that's what I'd want to do.
So, getting on to number 5. Okay. So this sauce has a Filipino flavor profile with Italian, Jamaican round, and teardrop peppers, along with garlic and ginger.
Number 5. Okay. Let's get a little spicier.
Spicier.
Yeah. It's good. Little more of a tingle on the tongue, but
Yep.
so far so good. I can handle it. A little bit
I'll
of
take a
bread
piece
for
of bread.
Charlie.
I'll take a piece of bread for that one.
Yeah.
So this is something that I really do admire you for as well, because how do you maintain your cool composure as town moderator when the meetings get a little spicy? And been to many of them, and
Yeah.
they've been super spicy, but you always have such a calm demeanor that always is so impressive. How do you do that, Mark?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'd love to say it's a superpower, but I think it's something that I think is inherently within all people, right? Which is, I know we've got to get our work done as a community, and that, everyone's opinion is important and valued, and as long as we respect each other, that we can get the work done, people can feel as though they've been heard, and I think that's how I look at things. I think many times the best outcomes are when people compromise and when people talk to each other, and I think if you can create that kind of atmosphere, there's more trust and respect between people, and you're willing to get that work done together. And so that's how I approach being on the school committee. It's kind of how I approach my daily life. It's also town meeting's nonpartisan. So there's not those kinds of inherent divisions that occur when you identify with one party or another. Town meeting is it's the rawest form of democracy that I think we have in America, and we're just fortunate to have it in the Northeast and in New England. And so, making sure that people connect with each other. I mean, because as you know, you've been a town meeting member and on the select board for a number of years. That is that one day a year that the community comes together to make some pretty important decisions about the direction and future of the town. I do like to inject some humor into it too, because we can't take ourselves so seriously.
Right.
I've loved doing it for the last 15 years. It's something I've really enjoyed, and I'd like to think that by and large people feel as though it is a space where people can participate in their government and that good decisions are made.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Here we
Next.
go. Number 6.
Okay.
Here we have whiskey, white balsamic, date syrup, and smoked ghost pepper heat. We're really starting to heat things up now.
Okay. Well,
Good luck.
okay, I can start to feel the heat a little bit.
Oh yeah. More bread.
Yeah, there's a little
There's a
more
kick to
spice
this
to
one.
this one.
Yeah. Spicy.
But it's okay. We're okay.
Lingers.
We're doing okay.
Yep.
It does. It lingers a little bit. I don't know if I want to. I am very concerned about these last 3.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying hard not to have the milk or the bread yet, because I feel like I'm going to need them. So I think I'm okay. I think we're good.
You're doing better.
Continue.
You're doing better than me. I've already need the bread several times.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it real, Charlie.
Okay,
Let's keep it
so this is a fun one. Okay. So what fictional character that people might know do you most admire and why?
I've always been a huge fan of Jim Henson. So growing up as a kid, I was very much a Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, the Muppet movie. The one character that always stood out to me, who I relate the most to, is Grover from Sesame Street, but I especially like Super Grover. So I don't know if you know, Grover also had an alter ego as Super Grover.
Yeah.
And he never, flew quite right, but he was always lovable, thoughtful. So I would say Super Grover, but also Yoda. Like I gotta go with Yoda, right? On the Star Wars side. I mean, I always wanted to be Luke Skywalker when I was a kid, but there's something about, maybe it's that, he's a little guy like I'm a little guy, but like very, very wise, self-deprecating, and super knowledgeable, and just like, especially in the prequels, like he was tough. He was strong, and
All right. So now we have number 7. Choking up just even saying what it is.
ginger goat.
It's a blend of super hot chilies along with mango.
I hate
Thank
that
God.
when you say a blend of super hot chilies. I just
We have mango in this one.
okay. Oh, great. That's great.
Lemongrass and star anise. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. All right. Ooh, you know what? I can taste the star anise, the licorice.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we're okay.
Mm.
We're all right. Right? You okay?
Mm.
Okay. I'm okay. You're okay.
This is good. This is very flavored. It is chock full of flavor.
And I would say it's not overly spicy.
So, we'll ask a nice spicy question here.
Another spicy question, please.
Okay. So, when considering an issue where there is strong advocacy both for and against the issue,
Yep.
how would you approach your decision making?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, and I actually think that's the right question to ask anyone running for a legislative office, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the state representative just for Democrats or just for unenrolled voters or just Republicans. My job as state representative is to be the representative of all the people of the 10th Bristol District, and that means listening to people, irrespective of what your position may be. It's always important to listen to what other people have to say and weigh those issues, looking through the lens of what's in the best interest of the people in our community. And, you know, what principles did I run on? What issues did I run on that resonated with people? Because that informs you as to what your priorities should be. So I think it's always important to listen, even if you disagree, because sometimes you'll hear the other side of a particular issue, and that may inform you to look at it slightly differently, or to suggest amendments to a bill that may make it even better. And so I think that's important for any state rep or state senator, or even any member of Congress, or even a town meeting member for that matter, any legislator, is you may have your core foundational beliefs, but it's always good to listen and then make a decision based on what you think is in the best interest of the district. And it's always good to check in with different people, particularly those most directly impacted by the decision you're going to make, to make sure that whatever vote you're going to cast, it's additive or positive or going to help as opposed to hurt. You want to keep talking because, you know, the bomb is next, and so I figured.
So the bomb is next.
So I'd like to talk a little. No, yeah, all right.
So here it is. I can't delay the process anymore. The notorious Da Bomb, and this is no turning back now. There we go.
All right.
You can do this.
Here we go. You can put more on that fork than that, my friend.
I want to get through the questions and be able to talk.
Okay. Well, I can already.
I'll have some bread with this one.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There are gonna be hiccups on this one. You can just I haven't even swallowed any of it yet.
There's no turning back now. No turning back.
Yeah. My eyes are watering a little bit.
Yeah.
Yours?
Yes, and my sinuses are
Yeah. My nose.
I can breathe really well now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is
Okay. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put my glasses off for that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of water. I mean milk. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's good.
I don't usually drink milk, but it may be a day that I will make that distinction and drink milk.
Yeah, that helps actually. That helps a little bit. Whew, yeah.
Bread definitely helps.
Maybe have a little bit more. Yeah. Right now, I think it's the tongue burn. And
Yeah.
the mouth burn.
Well, the tongue is kind of numb at this point, from the others. So
yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh God.
So you're gonna need to talk about this one. We're gonna go through a rapid round here. Lightning round. You just give me the top answer. Okay. All right. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Cinema or live theater?
Ooh, interesting. Live theater.
Okay. Better Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. Disco or grunge?
Oh wow. Grunge.
Sushi or barbecue?
Hold on, my tongue's burning. Sushi.
Okay. Aladdin or Finn Rider? He's the one from Tangled.
Thank you for that. Aladdin.
Aladdin. Mario Kart or Zelda?
Zelda all day, every day.
All right. Apples or oranges?
Apples.
Okay. Football or baseball?
Mm.
That's a tough one.
Mm. You know, it's funny because many people that I talk to that are either Red Sox or Patriots fans, for example, talk about how boring baseball is. I like them both,
Yeah.
but I really like watching baseball. I can't, and I love the Red Sox, so I was gonna say baseball.
Baseball. And being at Fenway Park is just amazing.
Yeah.
Melissa Finn or Gaston?
Gaston.
Gaston. DC or Marvel?
Oh, you know what? That's an interesting one because as a kid, I was a big DC fan. I watched Super Friends every Saturday morning cartoons. Wish they still had those. But I've become, I mean, how can you not help but be a Marvel fan?
Yeah.
And I'm a big Captain America fan, so I have to say Marvel.
All right. Captain America. Good. I already know the answer to this one. Epcot or Magic Kingdom?
Epcot.
Epcot, yeah. Alien or Predator?
Predator.
Predator. Rather work for Michael Scott from The Office or Ron Swanson from Parks
Oh
and
my
Rec?
God. Boy, that's a tough one. I think I love The Office better than Parks and Rec, but Parks and Rec I identify with more having been a municipal official, so I'd say Ron Swanson.
All right, Ron Swanson. Okay. So this one has potent 7 hot peppers, sweet maple syrup.
Great.
That's a good thing. Sambuca
Okay.
and fennel seed.
Oh, thank God for the fennel seed. Maybe this spice will be so spicy that it cancels the other spice.
Maybe. I mean, it's not bad. This one's not bad. I was a little scared about the 7 hot peppers.
You should be.
Potent.
Yeah, because I can. No, yep, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yep. Hi. How you doing? Okay. All right. Yep. A little bit of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to have that bomb ever again. That's wow.
That one I still feel in my throat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Lingers.
What's those? Yep. Lingers.
Okay. So this is a very important question, especially coming from myself, a licensed mental health counselor. I think this is a very crucial question. How do you take care of your mental health and treat yourself given the challenges of running for office, being involved in public government, and working in the private sector, and eating incredibly spicy food?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think for anyone in life it's important. I mean, because things are so busy for everyone, no matter whether you're running for office or you're just navigating through your daily life. And I think for all of us, we need to make sure we take time to take care of ourselves. And I think for me, it's been a couple of things that work best. I think making sure that you have some time to do some physical activity. So whether it's running for me, or unfortunately I haven't been able to play pickleball for a while, but I love pickleball, and big plug for Haven Pickleball Association is fantastic.
They are.
So either running or pickleball, or even going for a walk with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's been very important. Spending time with my kids, kind of outside of the campaign, or kind of the noise of the campaign. And I also think, it's important for all of us from time to time to engage in therapy. I think that's always important. Growing up, for us, there was a stigma attached to therapy, and I mean, you're a licensed therapist.
Yeah.
Everybody benefits from talking to someone who is completely neutral. It's not a member of your family. It's not a friend. It's just someone who is neutral that is there to listen to you. So I think a combination of all of those things has been, for me, a good way for me to navigate through times when it might be really stressful. But I also get real strength from, navigating through challenges and, finding solutions to things. So taking care of myself individually, but also, I think even in the campaign, engaging with people and talking to people about where they're at, it's really helpful to be a good listener. And that, believe it or not, also helps me to manage through, because I recognize, we're all humans, we all live in this community together, and just connecting with each other is where we need to be. And there's so much social media, there's so much being thrown at all of us, that kind of taking that step back and just having one-on-one conversations with people is really important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
the last dab, baby, the last dab. Here we go. We have to put a little
this
dab.
is the last dab experience.
Yes. All right. You have to put a dab on it. And it's the last question, so you need to put a dab too, buddy.
Yes, I will.
Okay,
I
so
will. Just a dab,
just a dab.
because it's the last dab experience.
Okay.
So,
Dab.
maybe 2 dabs.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, you ready for this?
Here we go.
Okay. Okay. I think we're home free.
Definitely bread.
Mm.
Smokin' Ed's iconic Pepper X,
Okay.
which is now officially the world's hottest chili.
Okay.
The world's hottest chili.
Okay, so
Hotter than ghost peppers. Hotter than Carolina Reaper.
Yep. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Nope. We're good. Yep. Let's keep on. Keep going.
Very
I'm
good.
glad you got the bread.
Bread is key. All right, so you grew up in the 10th Bristol District, and you still live here in Fairhaven. What is something you deeply appreciate or admire about this town, and what makes you excited to live here? As you take another breath and your tongue is still probably on fire.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, just give me a minute to let that set in. I'll be with you in a minute. So you repeat the question.
Absolutely. You grew up in the 10th Bristol District and still live here in Fairhaven. What is something you deeply appreciate or admire about this town, and what makes you still excited to live here?
So, I grew up here, my dad grew up here, my grandfather grew up here. And, oh gosh.
You're still excited about the last dab.
And I think, this is a town, I mean, and you live here, Charlie, and you've lived here for a long time. It is a very hardworking community of people, and community matters a lot. And what I mean by that is people come together to help each other out. And that's probably true of every city and town. But in Fairhaven, for me, the combination of, the deep-rooted tradition of the community, the history of the community, and people willing to help each other is really meaningful to me. It's kind of made me who I am, and I really appreciate that as a person. This is where I wanted to raise my children, because I wanted them to have the same values that I grew up with, and so that's what I love about Fairhaven. I mean, there's also, we've got beautiful architecture and a beautiful natural environment or coastal community. You know, we have rich, fishing and maritime heritage. Trying to be serious. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that we can't solve as a community. Yes, there are times where there are big disagreements on different issues. But one thing that I've learned is that we always come together in the end. And so I love that about my hometown. My mother grew up in Acushnet, so next town over.
Yes.
And I would say those values are also reflected throughout the entire district. I mean, growing up here, Fairhaven has been my home base. It's where I went to school, but I spent a lot of time in Acushnet with my meme and my pepe, and a lot of time in Mattapoisett and Camp Massasoit.
Yep.
I think if I could have done that full time for the rest of my life, I would have. I spent 9 summers there, and it was just an amazing experience because it was kids from all over the community, and that's where I learned a real appreciation for inclusion and children with disabilities, and how much everybody can learn from being together and being included. That was a very meaningful experience for me, just being a camp counselor. So I love my hometown, but I also really love this district and the experiences that I've had along the way.
Wow.
Whew, and it's kind of cooling down now.
So since you made it through 10 spicy
Yeah.
scallops, even the bomb,
Yeah.
Tell our voters why they should go out the polls and bring it on home. Speak to our voters now.
This is a very consequential election where there are very important decisions that the voters have to make up and down the ballot. And the 10th Bristol State Representative seat is a very important choice for the voters of this district. As I mentioned, I grew up here. The values that I've learned growing up, I think, are critically important for our next state representative to reflect when they vote on issues up in Boston. I have the experience, the background to hit the ground running on day one. I, like everyone else in this district, are aware of the big issues that we face, whether it's on affordability or the challenges around transportation or state aid or protecting our environment or supporting local businesses. And I will be hyper-focused on those issues. I think it's important that we elect someone who shares our values, who's going to fight hard, who's going to work every day, wake up every morning focused on these issues, and I believe I'm that candidate. I believe my track record locally and at state level and in the private sector reflect how I'll perform as your next state representative. So I ask everyone who's tuning in, please vote first and foremost. I ask for your vote for state representative. Our election is on November 5th. Please get out there and vote, and please vote for me, Mark Sylvia. Thanks.
Awesome.
Woo! All right, and that's a wrap. Are we having a wrap party?